So we continue the discussion. So in general, what we can say is Arduino can be used for any such application where the outputs are to be controlled based on the inputs and the system state. The logic equation of means any sequential or combinational circuit as may be required for implementing some kind of automatic system can be realized using Arduino. So what we implemented here is a circuit like this. This is an OR gate where there is one button start, we can press A, then there is an AND gate for which there is some control called as B, and this is the output Y from where there is a feedback. So this is what we implemented. This is our Arduino. This is input A, input B, and output Y. So in general, so A is start button, B is actually, there should be an inverter indicating it is exactly reverse, means stop is an NC contact, means when stop is not activated, it is working. But anyway, so this, what is the logic equation of this? This is a circuit where A and B are inputs. This is Arduino and this output. So this circuit can be realized by Arduino. Now this start stop is just an example given to you. So what is the equation of this circuit now? The equation of this circuit is quite interesting in the sense that what is Y? Y is the output. Y is equal to, if this I use an intermediate variable as C, so Y is equal to C into B, but what is C? Y is equal to, C is A plus Y into B. So what should be, so this is what is to be implemented. So what should be your Arduino program in general? Arduino program in general is you should input bit B, which user will activate. You should input bit A or pin, means the status of pin B and status of pin A and pin B is to be continuously read by the Arduino by input instruction and based on some logic. So how we implement this? Say there are some as it was told very clearly that Arduino is a microcontroller which consists of internal registers which are addressable as a whole of 8 bits, or there can be some internal single bit locations also. Internal single bit locations also are possible. So these can be addressed bit wise and it is addressed individual bit wise. These are various, say 30 years back one was to be very specific about a particular microcontroller available, but now because of advancements in various technology, you can design your own microcontroller. So we do not give much stress on what should be the Arduino microcontroller chip is to be used. We address on the logic. So what Y equal to C into B, Y is equal to A plus Y into B. So what we should reserve? 3 bits inside microcontroller. 3 internal bits of microcontroller are to be reserved to implement this logic. That is, I will say internal bit number 0, bit number, these are just names given, B1 and B2. Let B0, B1 and B2 are the internal register bits of microcontroller. Internal register which can be 8-bit and in its individual bits are addressable. So what should be the logic? I will assign each bit corresponding to one input pin. So I will take A to bit B0, I will take B to bit B1 and I will output B2 to Y. So what should my program? My program is very simple. My program is very simple because I have to implement Y is equal to A plus Y into B. So my program is B0 is equal to read A. Or what is A? A is one pin of microcontroller. A is one pin of microcontroller. I will say this port 0 pin 1. This would be port 0 pin 2 and this would be port 1 pin 1. So I will say B0 is a bit. This is one instruction format and assembly language is not important. Or we can also have input, or we can also have some instruction like move bit B0 comma pin 0.1. This is also an instruction. A move instruction format moving an external pin, input pin to a bit inside the register of microcontroller. So it can be either B0 equal to move, B0 equal to read port 0.1 or move B0 P0.1. Means what will happen? When this instruction is executed, if pin number 1 of port 0, if this pin is logic 0, bit 0 of internal register microcontroller will become 0. If this pin is logic 1, this bit will become logic 1. Then next is move bit 1 comma P0.2. So with these two instructions, the status of two pins will come inside microcontroller. Then what we want Y. What is Y? B2 should be equal to ANDing of these two. So what I will use? So what we want? We want that pin B is port 0.2, that is B1. This should be ANDed to A and Y. What is A? A is B0. What is Y? Y is B2. So what should be initial B2? Initial value of B2 you can set or reset. So you can say initially I will keep it 0. So you can reset, you have to reset the bit because you are not guaranteed what will be the case after microcontroller starts. So reset B2 means what I again tell that what microcontroller instructions are. Microcontroller instructions are arithmetic logic instructions or input-output instructions. Arithmetic logic. What arithmetic logic instructions do? Arithmetic logic instructions of microcontroller simply perform some kind of arithmetic and logic operations on the internal bits of microcontroller, and input-output instructions bring the status of outside world inside microcontroller registers, or it can reflect the status of internal bits of microcontroller on the actual output pins. Now what I will do, that I have to perform some OR operation. What OR operation? A and Y. What is A? A is B0. What is Y? B2. Then OR. For OR operation, there are various ways with which it can be done. OR is two operand operation. Or we can have two operand operation, means the operation OR is having two arguments. Two variables are to be OR and result is to be placed in third variable. Result is to be placed in third variable. In most of the cases, result is one variable is source, other variable is source as well as destination. So what we can have? OR B0 comma B2. What that will do? Or B0 comma B2. Or B0 comma B2 means variable whatever was there in variable internal variable B0 and internal variable B2, their logical ORing operation will take place and that will be reflecting to B0. Now what we want? Now you want that this OR is to be ANDed with this. So this OR is already available in B0. It is to be ANDed with B, that is B1. So what I can have? AND operation I need to do, that AND operation of B0 and B1. AND operation of B0 and B1 is to be done. And actually what I am supposed to do, that for the B0 bit is pin A, B1 bit is pin B, and B2 bit is pin Y. So instead of this, what I will do, it is more better. I will keep destination this, and I will have B2 and B1. So what I want B2 is to be ANDed of B1 and ORing of B0 and B2. So this is OR B2 B0. OR B2 B0 is A plus Y, and the result is stored in B2 itself. Then it is ANDed with B2 and B1. It is ANDed with B2 and B1. So this will be Y, and I will have move Y is output port 1 pin 1, comma B2. Is it clear? So this is a simple microcontroller program. This is a simple microcontroller program in which this simple digital circuit, which is a sequential circuit because I am using output feeding it back, it is Y is equal to A plus Y ANDed with B is implemented. I explain it once again in Marathi. पहिला B, प्रत्येक आउटपुटला किंवा इनपुटला आतलं बिट फिक्स करायचं. बिट B0, बिट B1, बिट B2 हे मायक्रोकंट्रोलरच्या आतमधले रजिस्टर मधले बिट्स आहेत जे इंडिव्हिज्युअल ऍड्रेस करता येतात. A, B आणि Y या पिन्स आहेत. पोर्ट 1 ची 0.1 पिन म्हणजे A, पोर्ट 0.2 पिन म्हणजे B आणि पोर्ट 1 ची 1 पिन म्हणजे Y. मग आता मी काय करणार? सुरुवातीला Y काय पाहिजे, आउटपुट काय पाहिजे, 0 किंवा 1 मी डिफाइन करणार. रिसेट B2. सो आय विल Y0. मूव पोर्ट 0.1 टू B, जे एक्सटर्नल पिन A, इट्स स्टेटस इज ट्रान्सफर टू B. जे A वर जे आलेला आहे इनपुट ते मी B0 मध्ये घेतलं. B ला जे आलेला इनपुट ते मी B1 मध्ये घेतलं. तर B0 मध्ये मला काय मिळालं? A मिळालं, B1 मध्ये B मिळालं आणि B2 मध्ये Y. मग आता Y इक्वल टू A प्लस Y डॉट B मी करणार. माझी A प्लस Y करणार. Y इक्वल टू A प्लस Y डॉट B. आता A प्लस Y काय घेतलं? B0 मध्ये A आहे, B2 मध्ये Y आहे. तर A प्लस Y ऑरिंग केलं B0 आणि B2, आणि B2 हे डेस्टिनेशन आहे. म्हणजे B2 मध्ये काय आहे ना, जुनं A आणि जुनं Y याचं ऑरिंग आहे आणि त्याचं एंडिंग कशाशी करायचंय? B शी करायचंय. आणि ते कुठे ठेवायचं? B2 मध्ये ठेवायचं. म्हणजे B1 मध्ये B आहे, B2 मध्ये ह्या दोघांचं ऑरिंग आहे आणि हा सगळा रिझल्ट मी B2 मध्ये ठेवला. सो B2 इज Y. आणि नंतर ते B2 मध्ये जे आहे ते मी आउटपुट पिनवर टाकलं, ह्या पिनवर टाकलं. So I put this into this. So I again explain, by this reset I had made a Y0 initial state. By this I transferred first input into one bit of the microcontroller inside, second bit into a second input into another bit inside. I have ORed this operation, I have ANDed this operation, and I have transferred the result on the port pin. So once this is over, remember that whenever the program of microcontroller is there which is to be implemented in a real time situation, this is not over. No, consider this as a general purpose hint for any application. Every Arduino program for which you want continuous operation must go back again. It must have to be jump to a label. So jump begin. So labels we give by some English meaning, and begin is not here. If you begin here, then it will lose the very purpose. Jump begin, because this is only to start and it is to loop again. So by this, it is just I had initially made y 0. Even if it is excluded, there will not be any difference. Only thing is that it is likely that the system may be on initially. Means before operations of button, system can be on or system can be off. If you don't use it, what system would be depends upon what is the internal logic of microcontroller while manufacturing, what is the status of the internal bits. If you want it to be specific, it is made 0. So with this, it is only once, and this is a continuously looping program. So with this, you can handle any kind of I/O operations. So microcontroller is used to sense the external happenings either because of manual operation of switches or because of some kind of automatic processes, automatic happenings. Those are read by the microcontroller, and based on that, microcontroller outputs some bits. Using it, the things can be controlled. So you can put some relays at the output pins. You can put some indications like LEDs at the output pins, and on input you can receive either information from the switches or information from manual happenings. This is the this is very small or very simple application of Arduino or microcontroller where we are using only digital I/O pins. We are using only digital I/O pins. So microcontroller application using digital I/O pins is now over. When I had already told that the words microcontroller and Arduino I am using interchangeably, because the Arduino itself is a name given for a family of compact microcontrollers nowadays. Now the next inputs which we had considered, and one more output which we also consider. So next input is analog input. Next input is analog input, and next output is this is a wrong name I am giving right now. It is analog output is not there for microcontroller, but a PWM output. PWM output. So what is analog input? Analog input is there are inbuilt analog to digital converters. There are inbuilt analog to digital converters, and it is possible to read that pin. So for example, if say port 2 is for ADC, so it has having 8 pins, port 2.0, port 2.1 up to port 2.7, and the ADC is multi-channel ADC, means it is possible that you can read 8 analog inputs, and each analog input is converted into an 8-bit digital output, as we had discussed in last in the lectures 2 weeks before. So 5 volts are converted into FF. You can actually preset that, whether, so we can max means max. Suppose if I am using 8-bit ADC, if I am using 8-bit ADC, then 8-bit ADC will have a range of 00 to FF. Hex value in decimal 0 to 255. So you can set a reference that for 0 volts analog input you can set 0, and for 5.1 volt you can set 255. So 5 volts would be corresponding to 250. 5.1 will be corresponding to 255. So 250 means 5 volts upon 250, that is 5000 millivolts upon 250, that is 20 millivolts will be giving you 1 current. So digital 8-bit reading hex converted to decimal multiplied by 20 is actual voltage. So actual voltage which is read using ADC is to be found out by multiplying it by 20. So with this it is possible that you can read input voltage. So what we can have, what is the instruction? One thing which I think you must have watched the spoken tutorials. In spoken tutorials videos you will find that there is no need for you to remember this actual Arduino microcontroller instructions. The integrated development environment will give you a C programming like instructions, wherein in simple English language you can write the program. But the assembly instruction actually what would be? Say for example, say P2.0 is ADC. So we can have this one pin, but this is one pin. The analog input pin of microcontroller will be having some value between 0 volts to maximum 5.1 volts. Value of 0 to 5.1, when I read this pin, suppose this is the instruction, read P2.0. So this process will give me an 8-bit value. Remember, listen very carefully. Reading an analog input pin will give me an 8-bit value. So read, or we can have input, just instruction I am giving. These are not the actual instruction. This is something which is not as, what we can say, hypothetical like C programming, just complete English, but it is not actually machine code. So code of microcontroller we never study, but we never completely rely on C like thing. So it is in between some kind of assembly language. So what we can have, input, or you can also have something like this, move, just I am giving an example, move register R1, P2.0. What does it mean? This instruction, let us say, this is one example. R1, what is R1? R1 is an 8-bit register. R1 is an 8-bit register. So bit number 0 to bit number 7. Then move R1, P2.0 means what? But what is 2.0? 2.0 is a single pin. It is an input pin. But this is an analog input pin. So the instruction is, while designing, we have to design some instructions wherein we can read the digital equivalent of a single input pin into 8 bits. So register R1 is and again remember, analog to digital conversion can never be accurate, it has to be always approximate. So move R1 comma P2.0 instruction, what it will do is the digital 8-bit approximate digital equivalent of the analog input on single pin 2.0 would be transferred to register R1. म्हणजे P2.0 ही एक analog input pin आहे, त्याचा 8-bit approximate, त्याची 8-bit approximate converted digital value ही R1 या मायक्रोकंट्रोलरच्या आतमधल्या 8-bit register मध्ये ट्रान्सफर होईल. And then you can use that value. So this analog input is required for many applications, and I will explain one simple application. For this purpose. So what is the application? Suppose if you want to design a temperature controller system. What the temperature controller system is required to do? The temperature controller system is required to maintain some fixed temperature for some application. Let us say I am taking a water heating application. So the maximum temperature would be 100. So what I will do, this is what an Arduino application is. What is Arduino? Arduino is to be used for small scale automation. Say home automation can be a perfect example of an Arduino. So I have a bucket. While taking example, I am taking simple example because I wanted to convey the working principle. So there is a bucket. In that bucket, you have simply used a heater. A coil you have, if it is a actual live classroom where students are there, I would have said that in your hostel, even though the hostel authorities prohibit such use, mischievous students always use such heating coil in their room and the water. Now what we want, I want that there is some application that I want to maintain the temperature at some fixed level. I want that I should be able to maintain the temperature at some fixed level. Let us say that these are some chemical processes. I am giving an example of bucket heating, but in many applications there are some chemical processes for which the temperature is required to maintain constant, or if you can have AC, for which also some kind of constant temperature is to be maintained for some application. But anyway, that is not our purpose. So in general, what the system is designed? Maintain some fixed temperature which should be presettable, means user should be able to set that temperature. User should be able to set that temperature from 0 to 100. User should be able to set that temperature from 0 to 100. So for that, what is required? Some kind of input the system should take. Then the question can be whether it should take a input using pot, or it can take input using some switches. So there can be 8 switches. Using 8 switches, I can set any value between 0, 0 to FF. I can set externally by using 8 on-off switches. By using 8 on-off switches, the user can set any value between 0, 0 to FF. A value from 0, 0 to FF means there are 0, 0 to 255. So directly I can set a digital value between 0, 0 and 100-degree temperature will correspond to 64. So 0, 0 to 64 will be giving hex, will be giving me a set value between 0, 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. Right, that is the value which is set. Now obviously a actual temperature needs to, so what you do in if suppose that when I say that Arduino should do it, obviously if Arduino is not there, you should have done it. Then what you do, you will bring a thermometer. You will bring a thermometer. Bring a thermometer. When you bring a thermometer and you say that I want 60 degrees, then and this you have put to AC mains supply, and you have got a switch. So initially room temperature is 30 degrees. Initial room temperature is 30 degrees. When room temperature is 30 degrees, what will you do? You will put on the heater. A very simple application. You make the switch on. So temperature will start rising. Then what will you do? When temperature starts rising, when you will put the heater off, then obviously since it's an engineering application, I am explaining in detail because the concept is also important. So those who want to think on their own should put a pause, think on their own, and then they can resume watching so as to exactly know how the things are to be controlled. So you can pause now, think, and then you can start watching. Those who don't want to think can continue watching, and those who are not watching and paying attention, the things will move ahead on the YouTube channel in their mobile. Okay. So what I will do, I will put the system on, and when temperature reaches 60 degrees, I will put then you will say, so sir, what rocket science is here? Why you are asking these questions? Isn't it that you are killing time? No, now listen carefully. You have put the heater on, the temperature was initial 30 degrees. Temperature will rise and it will move to 60 degrees. When temperature moves to 60 degrees, that time what will you do? You will put the heater off. That time you will put the heater off. But remember that the process of heating is having an inertia. It is a sluggish process. So when you put the heater on, the temperature doesn't rise immediately. It takes some time to rise. Then when you supply heat and now you put the heater off, it doesn't happen that temperature starts remaining here or falling. It continues to rise for some time. Then after it continues to rise for some time, then it starts falling. So your eyes are watching the thermometer, your hands are controlling the switches. So when the temperature goes beyond 60, you put the switch heater off. Temperature will continue to move even after 60, and maybe it reaches 62. When it reaches 62, you will put the heater on. After it reaches 62, then naturally it will, see, heater you have already made off. So when you make the heater on, temperature continues to rise, and when temperature reaches 60 degrees, you make the heater off. Even if you make the heater off, you put the heater off, temperature continue to rise, say up to 62, and after that it will remain constant for some time, and then it starts falling. It falls below 60. So when it falls below 60, what you will do? Again you will put the heater on. But even if you put the heater on, it will continue to fall for some time, and then again starts rising, and maybe that it falls at 58. It falls at 58. Is it clear? So this is called as on-off control. This is called as on-off control. What you do? Your eyes watch the thermometer, your hands control the heater. Thermometer showing above 60, put heater off. Thermometer showing below 60, put heater on. But because of the hysteresis, you find that the temperature is not constant. It varies between 58 to 62. This 58 to 62, 4-degree change is, for some application, if I am using it for having a bath, then it may not make a difference. But for some chemical processes, this 4 degrees change is not tolerable. So you don't want that. What you want means by your on-off control, temperature will always continue to be around 60 but not 60. By putting it off after crossing 60 on upper side, and by putting it on after crossing 60 on lower side, this you will maintain the temperature approximately constant in the range of 4 degrees, which is not acceptable for a given application. Then tell me what will you do? It's a very interesting question. Again, those who want to answer on their own can put a pause, think for a while, and then they can put the video on. So one will say that I will change the voltage. And I will bring the system to equilibrium. What is equilibrium? When temperature remains constant, when there is a given system. For a given system, temperature will remain constant when heat added by your heater is equal to heat dissipated according to Newton's law of cooling. Since this bucket is in an environment which is exposed, in an air atmosphere, which is exposed to air atmosphere, there will be by default cooling. So heat added is equal to heat dissipated. So you are adding heat, how? Depending upon the electrical energy. What is electrical energy? V square upon R or IR square. So electrical power is heat added per unit time, and heat loss per unit time is according to Newton's law of cooling. So Newton's law of cooling, how much heat is lost will depend upon the quantity of the water, the atmosphere temperature, on many thermodynamical parameters. So there will be some heat loss per unit time. So you have to add that exact heat. Per unit time. So heat added per unit time is I square R or V square upon R, where R is the resistance of this heater coil and V you can control. So you will get a dimmer stat. And using the dimmer stat, you can control the voltage. But dimmer stat is too costly application. Since the system water heating or some heating system is having its own inertia, there is no need for you to go for dimmer stat. Earlier you were having on off. So you were putting on when heater was temperature was below 60. you're putting heater off and temperature was going above 60. Now what will you do? Instead of doing it, what you can do is, you can control the average heat supplied from your system to the water system by controlling the, instead of either continuously on or continuously off. When it is when you keep heater continuously on, even if you make it off here, water continues to temperature continues to rise. Once it is here, it is completely off. As it is off, even if you make it on here, temperature continues to fall. So instead of that, what will you do? If you say that I will have a cycle of 100 seconds. I will have a cycle of 100 seconds. In 100 seconds, I can have many 100 combinations. Complete on, complete off are two combinations. Instead, 10 second on, 90 second off. So 10 second on, 90 second off. So over an average time period of 100 seconds, which is sufficiently small period for thermodynamic system, I will say that there is no need for me to actually control voltage. I can simply have AC mains as it is and a switch. Only thing is that in case of on-off control, I was operating the switch. In case of on-off control, I was operating the switch only on two occasions. Temperature going beyond 60, put the switch off. Temperature going below, not beyond, I will use the correct word. Temperature going above 60, because beyond can be on both sides. Temperature going above 60, put the heater off or put the switch off. Temperature coming below 60, put the heater on. But this was happening after 2-3 minutes. So 2-3 minutes on, 2-3 minutes off, or some kind of depending upon thermodynamic what we can say equilibrium. On period may be of 3-4 minutes, off period might be of 2-3 minutes. That depends upon what is the quantity of water in the tank, what is the wattage capacity of the heater. So because of that, what was happening, that this kind of changes were taking place. Instead of that, if I say that 100-second period I will do, and I will control the duty cycle, means I will have total 101 combinations. 101 one combination throughout on, one combination throughout off. Instead of that, 1 second on, 99 second off. 2 second on, 98 second off. Up to that, 98 second on, 2 second off. 99 second on, 1 second off. This is called as pulse width modulation. Means it is on off, but I am doing it at regular intervals for specific time. So this was on-off control only on some occasions, whereas on-off control exercised regularly by keeping it on for some time and keeping it off in the remaining time of a predefined cycle time, let us say of 100 seconds, which is sufficient for thermodynamic system. So in that case, I can control the duty cycle from 1% to 100%. 1% is 0% total off, 100% total on, and 1% to 99% are intermediate steps. Then if I do it, then what I will find is that for a given system, I will be able to find out that exact duty cycle which will keep the temperature approximately constant around 60, means I will not claim that it will be exact 60, but this 62 to 58 range will be certainly narrowed down to say 60.1 and 59.9, which is much more comfortable. So, and how? Suppose if I am having a small heater, more water, to keep it at 60 degrees, I will be required to have say 70% duty cycle. Instead, if I put more water to keep it at 60 degrees, I may be required to operate at 80% duty cycle. If I reduce the water to keep it at 60, I will be required to operate at 30% duty cycle. If I increase the temperature, the required temperature, in that case, what I will be required to do? In that case, I will be required to operate at some different duty cycle. So, what is done? The theme is actually there is a detailed algorithm of temperature control. Right now, we only thing is that the time is less, so I will not explain the exact algorithm right now. I will put it sometime later on. Those who want to study it for their own purpose may study it, but what that thing I will explain now is that what Arduino program is to do. Arduino program user will be able to give the set point. So set point is supplied by the user. The process variable, that is the temperature, is so set point is set user set point. It is read by the microcontroller, read by Arduino. System changes set point. SP is set point. SP is set point. PV is process variable. System changes process variable. It is read by Arduino. Then, based on this set point and process variable, the heat switch, right now I will say on off control switch, that is output pin or relay, which is controlled by Arduino. So, I think we will stop here. In the next small remaining part, I will explain how to have this temperature control, another application for on-off control. For proportional control, I will explain it in very brief, and you can think if later on if you really want.